Good afternoon. This is Greg Dempson with tonight's report. Report number 2 here. We'll have a selection for you on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons at the Virginia Cavaliers game shortly. Last night, just to quickly recap, we had Marshall, the Thundering Herd, getting plus 7 points, and they never trailed in the game, eventually losing straight up by a single point. And it was interesting at the end, as Marshall were down to one timeout. So Appalachian State knew that Marshall was going to let them hopefully score, so they opened up the seas basically. Appalachian State ran right down to around the 5-yard line and took a knee. So Marshall could only stop the clock once, and after a bunch of kneels, the game ended and we covered the spread. And some people thought it was a bad beat, but me personally, no. We had 2 smart coaches, one doing what he thought he could do to perhaps get the ball back with a minute left and go down the field for a tying score with a 2-point conversion. Such was not the case. Anyway, long story short, we won, we covered. So we start with our podcast, 1 win, no losses. Our opinions last night also worked out really well, as we said that game would go over, and it did sneak over. 61 points was the final combined score, and I believe the total closed at 58.5 points. We also had a lean to the under in the NFL game between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. And on my website, I suggested the team total on the Texans would stay under 17 points. And that also did, as they didn't even come close to that. So let's move forward now to the ESPN 7 o'clock kickoff between the Demon Deacons and the Virginia Cavaliers. Well, Wake Forest has done very well in this series, 4-0 straight up and against the spread in the last 4. Now, last year, this game was tied 23-all going into the fourth quarter, and Wake Forest were able to score the final 17 points. And when you look back to the strength of schedule for each team this season, Wake Forest has covered against both FBS foes. Most recently, they were at home last week, laying 4.5 points against the Florida State Seminoles, and they won that with ease, 35-14, while Virginia went on the road getting 9.5 points to North Carolina, and they looked good against the Tar Heels. At the end of the first half, they were actually ahead 28-24, but then the second half came and they had a meltdown. They allowed 699 yards, and they just got crushed in the second half, and as a result, they lost this contest. Now, tonight's game, the line opened briefly at minus 4 points favoring the host team, and was quickly bet down to minus 3.5. Now, I see a couple outs where the line is Virginia minus 3, and that's where I made my investment today. I took the Virginia Cavaliers minus 3 points at $1.15. I have a lean to the over, very small lean. This total's been steamed up from about 67.5, 68. It's currently at 70 points, and that's too many points for me to go over. You would need each team to have 5 touchdowns apiece. And, if you have, in a situation like this, if you have a team running some time off the clock and getting into the red zone and they're kicking field goals, you're going to have a tough time going over 70 points. So I passed on the total, but I do like the Virginia Cavaliers minus 3 points at minus $1.15. For more information on the remaining picks for Saturday and Sunday's card, you can visit my website. It's gregdempson.com. Thank you for watching.